What's up, everybody? So excited you're here today because I'm going to dive in to agent mindset, especially with our market being a little bit stable, a little bit slower than it has been, people calling for a crash, people calling for a shift. I'm going to talk to you about your mindset and things that I think that every agent should know in order to be successful through any downturn, through any stabilization, and absolutely still crush the game no matter what the real estate market is doing. What's up? Coach Kane here, the Realtor Playbook. Thank you so much for tuning in. Throw me a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, share this video. That would be absolutely mean the world to me, as I'm here to help agents scale no matter what brokerage you're at, no matter what you're doing. I absolutely want to help the industry continue to be more successful and more successful as we go, because we all know those statistics and I'm kind of over them, to be honest with you. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about this mindset. And I think that it goes across any shift, any up, down, sideways, anything we do. I think that this mindset and this mentality will absolutely help every single agent scale. If you're interested in partnering with me and the Wolfpack, Mike Sherrard at EXP, please book a call in my Calendly link below. I would absolutely be honored to share the system with you and see if it's a good fit for you. If it's not, no big deal. If that's not what you're into or you're happy where you're at, I would love to sit down and talk with you about a game plan to scale your business the modern way, the right way, with a different mindset starting now. All right, so let's dive in. You've all seen the headlines, and I heard a quote the other day that was really cool. When the real estate market changes, buyers are the first to know, agents are the second to know, sellers are the last to know. And that's an interesting concept, maybe very focused on what we're seeing right now as we've come off an extreme seller's market. P.S. I'm here to tell you we're going to be in a seller's market for a while, especially in my market in Denver, because it's still the supply and demand. Regardless of what the headlines say or what the market's doing, supply and demand still runs the show every single day, back to basic economics. So everyone loves to blow up the headlines, right? So as a realtor right now, we're seeing a lot of, the market's changing, the market's shifting, what's happening, market crash, all this stuff, 2008 all over again. And I'm here to tell you that it's a very different situation, and that's not what this video is for. But the bottom line is you have the opportunity to not be the smoking gun, to not shout from the rooftops like everybody else that the real estate market is this and that and the other thing. Because first of all, if you believe that and you are living that right now, what have you been doing for the last 18 months, 24 months? Because if you're really in this industry to help other people and build relationships, like why are you standing behind putting all these people in houses when you knew this market was going to crash? And that's the problem that I have, is a lot of people are doing this for click. They just don't know. They're just kind of going along with the headlines. The market is your livelihood, right? The market is always there. You're a real estate agent because you know the market and dictate the market and help people understand the market, but you don't have a lot of control over said market unless you're a hitter with, huge market share. I'm here to talk a little bit about why this market is okay and why it's going to be okay. And it's a lot of mindset. The real estate market is always great for somebody and not so great for the other person. Buyers, sellers, right? That makes up the entire real estate market. You can throw in renters there too if you want. Buyers are either winning, sellers are winning, renters or tenants are never winning, but we can talk about that at a different time. So let's dive in a little bit to this. So right now, as the market shifts a little bit, sellers are going to be doing a little less winning, a little bit less triumphant victories for the sellers with those, six-figure over asking, not having to do anything to get your house ready and just putting it on the market and getting overbid asking and bidding wars, right? And so now, who is this market good for? Well, buyers, right? That's what you would say. Well, now we got the interest rates kind of coming into the news and being higher, and they're still pretty low historically. I get it, appreciation, all that stuff. But who is winning, right? There has to be a winner and a loser at some point. And I'm going to tell you that if you break down the buyers, it's those first-time home buyers, the people that absolutely could not compete in that market for a long time, right? And you're like, well, the interest rates. Well, the interest rates are variable. They can change. If they do change, if they go up and you're in here, that's good. If they go down, you can refinance. So I would say that the first-time home buyer the person who doesn't have a ton of cash, isn't very leveraged with their cash and assets and that kind of stuff. Those are the people that can win. Those are the people who can get in this market. Sellers are hearing that the market's changing. Again, they're the last to know. They're still going to require, pretty strong offers. You got to bring your A game. But that is the winner, is the buyer that didn't have the $100,000 appraisal gap or didn't have a ton of cash to put down, to offset the raising prices and all that stuff. So that person can get in and go from there. So if I can manipulate that in a low inventory time, a high interest rate time, and say, okay, there is a winner here. There's a winner in every single market, right? The market crashes. Who's going to win? Those investors. Build those relationships with those investors, foreclosures, all that stuff. If it crashed completely, that's who would win, right? You scoop it up, and then the market starts rebounding, drives it back up to where it was, meaning that real estate's always a recurring investment, which is an amazing investment, especially for a singular home that you have to pay for anyways because you need shelter. So now what's that mean for your strategy to win? And the first thing I would say is get off of the social media feeds or get on them, see what the headlines are, and do exactly opposite and figure out what the positive is in this time frame, because everybody can scroll through and how many things have you seen? Oh, the market's shifting, showings are down, buyer's market, this, that, the other. It's not a buyer's market, I'll tell you that right now. No matter where you're at, maybe it is where you are, not here. And so if you can take that headline, know what that is, and then put together a logical explanation of why it's different, that's when social media content really goes, right? That's when the different content stands out and it's not just another scroll, same old real estate market news that we've seen. And so if you can pull the headlines and use them for good and then figure out how to solve the problem, right? Here as real estate agents, we make pretty good money. Our commissions are, pretty decent. And it's been pretty easy the last 10 years even. I've been in it 10 years. It's been fairly easy to scale my business to, icon level for say at EXP. But if you're in the situation and you have to make something make sense to somebody else, make it make sense. Who's winning? Where's your opportunity? Because if we're all just going along with the cattle, going to this, whatever, this is the next thing to do, then that's what everyone's doing in a down market too. So you have to kind of think outside the box, think of ahead of the game. Who's this good for? How can I be of value in this market for these clients? How can I serve my past clients? If we need, low inventory, you lean back on the people who have bought houses over time. Whatever that may be, there's always opportunity. And if you step back, look at your hyper-local market, because most of the headlines that you see are being taken from a national level and made to fit into your hyper-local market, even though it's probably not the case in your hyper-local market, then you can take that information and you can become the expert and you can be the first one that turns on the light bulb. Hey, first-time home buyer, maybe it's my time. Okay, I have a lease. All right, let's do some math. Does your lease, paying your lease for the next, 8 months make sense? Or, is there a lease buyout, or is there, a program that we can look into that'll help you with that piece? Now's the time. It might not be like this in 8 months. Interest rate may be higher. You may be into a situation where people are locked in their houses because they have such low interest rates, and moving up doesn't make sense because the interest rates have gone up. So the inventory is always going to be a concern until we reach that threshold where we're, reaching towards even close to a balanced market. So talk to your clients and see and look at your market and okay, who is it right now that I can help win? And if you help people win, you will be successful at real estate all the way through. And they won't go to the internet and they won't go to this and they won't go to that next time they want to buy or sell a house. Because if you help them win in a time where they didn't think that they could win or they didn't think it was possible, and you put them into a home and saved them money and started their dream towards building wealth through real estate, you absolutely will crush it. So that's kind of my mindset talk for the day is you have to take the information, right? It has to be real. You have to be educated. But if you take it to a positive note or figure out who it's good for, you can absolutely crush the game. You just have to adjust. You can't be the same person who's doing the same thing every single year and expect that in this changing market that's going to return the same results every single year unless you're providing value and you're able to shift, right? If it was just one way to do things in one real estate market and everything else, the agent wouldn't be needed. So make yourself valuable, make yourself useful, and go out there and work your ass off to get where you need to be. Coach Kane here, the Realtor Playbook. If you're interested in chatting further about how we can make this happen in your local market, please book a call in the Calendly link below. Let's go.